Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Play The Beginner's Guide. My name is Exeore and this is No Lives Left. I'm very interested in this game because it is, I'm told it's somewhat like the Stanley Parable, which was fucking fantastic. We're just going to start. I already fucked with all the options. Yep, make sure audio is on. I've also got subtitles for anybody that just wants to read that. Controls. That's it, just the A button and the two sticks. Okay. Yeah, I'm playing with the gamepad, by the way, in case that wasn't clear. I figured...
Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide.
Oh, no problem, man.
My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Oh, okay.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda.
Alright.
Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff.
Everybody struggles with personal
his
stuff.
work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make.
Like the Stanley Parable.
Just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made.
Huh.
It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can
A
walk
level
around
for
here, by the
Counter-Strike.
way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment.
Yeah.
What I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level.
I can't
And
jump
of
or
course,
anything.
it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator.
I have a good feeling I'm not going to do a lot of talking in this Let's Play.
I want to get to know who this human being really is.
Okay.
And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever.
What?
And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games folder.
That's funny.
So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made.
This is a small map.
Until suddenly one day, he just stopped.
Stop.
In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since.
What? Why?
And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again.
Okay.
And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda.
Okay.
So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveyWreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Right. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game.
Okay.
As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Loading November 2008. So I guess the games don't have a name? Or maybe he'll tell us the name here. Whoa! Okay, I have a gun. I can shoot it. With the A button, which is so
this game
useless.
Is called Escape from Whisper.
Escape from Whisper, so he did tell us the name.
You'll see from Coda.
Whisper machine status active. Evacuate immediately. Okay. Evacuating. I have a gun. What do I shoot with this gun?
Security call reached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
Hostile alien life forms are inbound?
It kind of looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere. But then clearly there are no enemies anyway.
Yeah.
You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
Can I run out of bullets?
Ultimately, we don't really
know. There you go.
Maybe
Ran out of
Coda
bullets.
thought that actually it was complete the way that it is.
What?
And I
How do you think
we
it is
should talk
complete?
about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Okay. I don't agree, but I'm listening. Guess we're gonna keep going. Can't reload the gun at all, by the way.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Yeah, you can. That's funny. Alright, well, I'm just sitting here. Am I going somewhere? Can I go through? Oh, I can go through here. Okay. All the other doors wouldn't let me go through, so I thought closed doors was just an indicator that's what's happening there. So yeah, clearly I'd be fighting aliens and stuff in here.
The space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh. Oh. To be fair, I mean, this is already a short game. You might as well let me do the labyrinth and tell me something interesting while I'm doing that.
The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Okay. Are you gonna let me listen to the narrative, or does it not exist?
Hey, you there? In
Oh,
the engine room.
okay.
You could save us all.
Okay. How?
That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature.
Me.
If your body could stop the beam.
Okay, but I'm gonna die.
It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
I mean, it's a video game, so sure. I'm all about the self-sacrifice. Oh, I'm dead.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level.
Yeah.
But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Oh. Can I run back in and die again? No. Oh. Huh.
The beam causes you to start floating.
Yeah, I could see that.
And this is an important moment for it.
Also, the
Because
spaceship
yes,
is
this
weird.
is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system.
Also, I really don't
or
like this feeling of floating through space.
A peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to
The
traverse.
labyrinth wasn't so hard. You could have let me figure that out. Actually,
I
it
have
does
no
look pretty
idea what he was
crazy.
thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions.
So this was an inspiration to make the next
Let's go ahead and take a look
game?
at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Okay. Whatever. This is still November. Is it the same year? I think it was. This game's fast. The past was behind her.
Yep.
Oh, I can only walk
In
backwards.
This game, you can only walk backwards.
Okay. Trying to like take a look around and walk back. This is weird, man. I don't like walking backward. Oh,
So it's a short
but the
and
future could
relatively
not be
minimalist
seen.
experiment combining
why
motion
does the
and
future
narrative.
keep
It
changing?
is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Code is
still have
trying
a
to
gun
give
that I
it a
can't
unique
use.
voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. Well, that's what's happening to me. I have to stop to read everything because I can't see. But the future is always behind her. What? I thought she put the past behind her. How will she find the strength to confront it? And it's like
Short
right in my
little thought,
face.
It says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to
Well,
me
I mean-
is why it works, because it gets out quick.
Maybe like if a
next
free
one.
internet game that somebody could download and look at real quick. Oh no! It's really dark. You are now entering. Entering what? There's gonna be another sign explaining what I'm entering, isn't it? Okay. Okay. Oh.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
I have a lot of patience for this stuff because I'm very interested in game development and all that nonsense. That isn't
Oftentimes,
nonsense.
Coda would
Oh,
put
well,
bizarre
nonsense is
titles
nearly
like
in every
this one at
direction.
the start
You
of
wanna-
his games.
Okay. Whoa. Oh.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a
Right.
game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that
Damn.
at all, but what are you gonna do?
Right. So as a title, The Beginner's Guide, this is rather interesting as a game, like a nod to game development in itself. Oh, I'm going slower now that I'm...
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why,
What's in it?
if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you,
I wanna know what's in
the
it.
game here, so that when you press the use key on your gamepad, it'll bring you back up to full speed, so you can enter the door for yourself.
Okay, thanks. But normally I would have to crawl all the way up here. Like, forever. The rate was just crazy. You walk around people talking about, it's a pair of floating eyes emitting footsteps, and Exeore the queen, dusting your jewelry while your kingdom is destroyed. The button you press stops the chaos that doesn't work.
And nice, and filled with little ideas for games.
Oh. So why
Coda would
crawl
often
up the
tell me
stairs
that
for
he
this?
didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very
A normal
slow
game where you
climb
have to
get
scream
there.
into a mic every 50 seconds to keep playing. A very slow climb to get there. Alright, I get that. Incorrect instructions on how to play. Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, that was a nice ready, set, fish. Where's my boat? How do I fish? Okay. Guess I'm walking along this room. This looks like something from Stanley Parable. Kind of
Well,
like
this
the
is
garage
new
area,
for
maybe?
Coda. It's an actual
Oh.
puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Oh. Well, what happens if I step in there? Am I gonna die? No. How big is this room? Can I hit the door?
Don't forget
Oh, I've
that
locked myself.
solution,
Oh, I
because
didn't
we're
lock
going to see this puzzle again.
Oh,
soon.
the... Aha.
We're gonna see it a lot.
Okay, cool. We're gonna see it a lot. Okay. Why the same puzzle? Or is that in different titles?
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again.
I guess.
So that when you press the use key on your gamepad, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that, but okay. Oh. What the fuck? Why?
How about that? There was more to it than we had any
What?
way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this
Yeah.
fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same.
Yeah.
Is that most of the time, you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand,
What's the
then
point?
what is it?
Yeah, what's my point? To experience it and to think about it, maybe? Hey, we're back here. Was there more to this game, or I'm now
this,
exiting?
Combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger
Really
picture
trying to understand
is.
this. Now we're into March 2000. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Well, there's not a lot going on here, but that in itself is like making me wonder what is. Whoa! Oh, wait! Holy shit! Should have like faded that one in, man. I don't know.
Let's talk about video game development for a second.
Was I on a hill there?
Every
I think
video
I
game
was.
runs on what's called an engine,
Right.
which determines what the game can and cannot do.
Okay.
So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Yep. I know all about that. There's stairs here, and then there's
To
a way
make
in.
all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source.
Right.
Like all
Could tell.
engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly.
Is this an
One of
example
the
of something
things that
poorly?
it does very well is boxy linear corridors.
Right.
That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Okay, open that one. But, this.
The tools
Oh,
available to the
I don't want to go
creator
down
shape
there.
what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture
handicap
of
sign
those
on it.
games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
What is going on here? Can I jump? Huh? Oh, I made it. What happens if I fall? Yeah. No fall damage. I'm slowly sliding a little bit when I land. Yeah, this is a thing. This is happening. Why is this happening? I'm just gonna try and skip this staircase thing. There we go. Can I make this next one? I think the point is to just keep going until eventually you fall and die. But I'm determined to stave that off as long as possible. Okay. This way, this way. Man, what is going on here? Oh, see, now I'm like at the bottom. Oh, hey, there is an actual like bottom to this. And I made it. Who says this isn't a real game? There's a fail state here. And I did not fail. At least I don't think I did. Okay, I made it. What now, dude? I don't know why any of that existed. It's like one of those trippy psychological games where the person's going crazy. Oh. Okay. These games are very big and empty. They give me a sense of like of being watched, of being followed. Like, why is this here? It makes me feel. Oh, oh. Okay. Oh, it's an elevator. When is that coming? Guess I'm on the 3rd floor. Oh.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour.
A full
before letting
hour?
you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Yeah, thanks. Oh.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot.
Huh.
You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible?
Yeah,
And so
kind
we
of
just
agree.
got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games.
Okay.
That was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else.
Right.
Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere.
Right.
There wasn't.
Well, I mean, art is supposed to be for the public, right? And there's no point if they can't appreciate it. I kind of agree with games having to be accessible for them to be a successful form of art. But if this Coda guy is what this guy's explaining he is, then that isn't about it. I mean, he said he doesn't mind being cold, he doesn't mind all that, and I can kind of agree with that. It's not about, I mean, for me, it's not about whether or not people appreciate what I do or don't do. It's about what I appreciate
It's the
and what
puzzle
I
again,
do.
with the exact same solution as the last time.
Okay.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But
Yeah.
I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Okay, and then just like clear blue sky over there. This game is really long and trippy. And apparently that hour sitting in the prison was a real thing. But I mean, as an artist, a game developer that considers himself an artist, that goes behind me, as a game developer that would consider themselves as an artist, it should be playable and accessible. And I mean, it's a way to make money, and you have to be able to do that. But if you look at it from a standpoint of self, like, it doesn't matter if people can play it or whether or not they choose to.
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities.
Yeah.
Use the buttons on your gamepad to respond.
The floating colored block stands out the most. Yep. Prefer not to tell you. After all, we've only just met. You think you want to get through, but trust me, you don't. I will tell you how to solve it. Well, what is it? What's the answer? I don't have a dialogue box, so I can't answer. I literally can't tell them. Oh, that is tripping me out. Are they gonna say anything as I leave? Sorry, guys. Fuck. I feel bad now. Oh, are these the same guys? No, I've been right here this entire time. What happens if I solve it? Okay. Man, what is going on in this fucking game? I have feelings about stuff that's happening in this game, and I get that's what he's going for when he developed them.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Okay. It's been a long one, you know, comparatively. Are we free? Well, it doesn't look like true freedom, but I mean, we're outside.
It's a lamppost.
Yeah, it sure
Okay,
is.
I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost.
Yeah,
It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out.
it's a beacon.
I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. 'Cause
Yeah.
now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something.
I could be on that.
He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination.
Beacon, a lighthouse.
We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them.
Okay.
And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Well, I sure hope so. Or maybe I don't hope so. I don't know. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Here's the first note. Nice room. Not. Can I leave notes?
So first
I
off,
only have
I'm
one
sure you
button.
can deduce
No,
this,
I
but
cannot
this
leave
game is
notes.
not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by
Right.
Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played.
Okay.
This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level. And
Right.
it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually.
That's good. Nobody likes the hyper guy. Whoa, holy shit. Yeah, holy shit. What the fuck is going on here? Can you guys hear me? I can. Hello. Hello.
Oh, feel free to
Reasonable.
skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way,
Everyone read this.
to me they convey a sense of loneliness.
Yeah.
I see this person
place
who's
makes me
filled with
sad.
thoughts and feelings and beliefs and
I'm gonna
has
tell
no
you a
way to
secret.
express them
Once upon a
except
time,
as
I
scattered
did
and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be
find
played.
fun. I'm king of the world.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That
This world
in
full of
playing this
nodes.
game
One man
and
will read
seeing
all
how
of them.
alone
This
Coda
summer,
often
you
felt,
believe the speech
that we
bubbles can
get to
talk.
know him better and actually kind of connect with him.
Cool cavern, bro.
And I have to be honest with you,
We're running
this
out of
idea
space.
is really seductive to
Soon
me.
we will suffocate.
That I could just play someone's game
Can't jump down
and
there.
see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less
Saw a
of the
floating penguin. Let me tell you, it's
messy
most majestic.
in-person
It's so thick
socializing.
of it. I don't
I
think
could
I've
just
learned
get to
because
know
nothing
you
would
through
be
your
as majestic
work.
as that. I'll never see it again. If nothing
this
will
is
be
why I
beautiful
always
again.
liked Coda's
cry now.
games
I'm
so
really
much.
ripping my eyes out.
Is
I
because
must
it
go now.
felt like they let me have that
What the
connection.
fuck?
I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Shit is this game? Boring. I can assure you there's guaranteed there's an acorn somewhere here in this place, and the sailors are looking for it. What? Oh, this is gonna be a big one. Hey guys, just looking for someone to talk with. What are you in a chat room? I refuse to believe. What is going on with this mess? There's nothing here. Go back. Don't listen to that guy. Free t-shirt. Open sesame. Door how open. Need a sign. Door why you so. Someday we'll meet the person who made this. I help people because the internal good feeling I get. New room. Scared of writing something? Don't want to feel judged. Game where you leave notes and suddenly everyone's a poet. This is where I get off. I failed to write anything here. Stop, turn back, proceeding further will only result in misery. I'm gonna keep going. What's this one say? Take my hand, let's jump together. Oh, I can't jump, bro, sorry. Cabbage shapes our nation. Hey, don't talk about me that way. We're just gonna move on a little bit. I see that the notes aren't really getting us anywhere. A little bit of thinking for some of them, but that's about it. Don't listen to other nodes. I'm not safe. What is this one? We just walk around and leave notes. I wonder if all these notes were like he wrote all of the notes, or if he put them all in. I mean, obviously the game's not connected to the internet. Well, I mean, it is through Steam, but you know, that's not this game, that's the beginner's guide. This is different. And I clearly cannot leave notes, so. Yeah, we're all here now. It's deep, man. It's a terrible secret, he kept it well. I beat the game. I doubt it.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means.
Okay.
Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it.
Right.
And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
That's why it's always towards
In
the end.
each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Whoa, what am I hearing? Oh, a typewriter. How do you leave notes? The lamppost. Are you there? Please say something. It could be anything. I just need to say something. Talk to me, please. Hurry, I must talk. Speak, 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 speak. I can't talk. Unless the game gives me permission to talk. I can't. Porn stars die too.
It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Alright. What kind of title is that? Porn stars die too. Can I do anything in this one? Alright, well, we're just gonna hang out here on this couch, I guess. Can I open this door? Oh, I can. Okay, cool. Okay. So this is some rich porn star's house? Not a very good house. Going outside. I think. Oh, we're at the bottom of the well now.
This is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Here's version 2.
Oh. Is this where all the stuff is supposed to be? What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? What about a TV with surround sound? That's not a TV. What the fuck? Let's put a huge picture of a horse. What? That's not what happened. I think we should light up this room a bit. How about Tesla coils in the corner? It's just a lamp. There's already a table. Pretty sure none of my choices are making any difference. Yeah. Oh.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Yeah. It's pretty weird.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Got version 3? Whoa. Oh, okay. Hello, please walk forward. Alright, walking. This guy will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care to remember each step. First, click on this table. Good. Go over to the photo frame and click it slightly. Turn it slightly. Now jump off. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. The floor lamp, this one. Now go to the left sofa, move it a little bit. Finally, touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will not be open. Return to the start, take it back to your prison. Okay. What the hell? Am I supposed to remember all that?
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
Ah.
Here's a
What
version
the fuck?
where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me
What the
just real
fuck?
quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just
It's over there.
Maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on. But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against
Back here
yourself.
again.
Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going. And then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
What? It's kind of spooky. Is the lamp in a door? Is that a door? It's a booth. It's like a phone booth. Hello? Who is this? Hi. Hey, it's me, you from after you escaped the prison. Oh, you're me? So you were trapped in this prison too?
It's a conversation.
Yep,
And so
I was in the
this is what
figurature
Coda
maze.
wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
It's just wildly emotional at the same time. Do you feel any different? Sometimes I'm scared and get out and then things be exactly the same as before. It actually does change. I don't feel like the same person at all. Age just kind of does that, you know? It's still me, but I'm not somehow. It's hard to describe. Remember to enjoy being who you are right now. It won't last. No. I think I'm the first person to call back. To get out, all you have to do is be sincere. What? Yeah, that's kind of, that will free me? How does that work? Just be sincere. Sincere about what? That's exactly what you need to figure out in order to escape. This is kind of, what the hell is going on here?
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
Guess?
So what would it look like if
August
Coda
of
wanted to make a
2009?
game about talking to someone other than himself?
Weren't we at November? What, did we go further back? Or was that 2008? That must have been 2008. Snowy landscape?
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Okay. Set to clean. My goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. I thought I might clean this entire household yourself, and right misery that would have been. Everyone knows that lonesome hands makes lousy homes.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Run into the bedroom and make the bed. Straighten the rug. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? Well, I don't enjoy it as much as I need it. While I'm working, I kind of feel calm that rests in the pit of my ribcage. My soul can't be soothed any other way, it seems, which I guess is all that matters. Oh, that and a tidy couch. Would you straighten the pillows out on the sofa? Oh dear, looks like someone spilled a drink over by the couch. Maybe mop that up as long as you're over there. You planning on doing any cleaning, man? I feel prepared to show an incredibly cheesy personal insight. Are you okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. No. No, it was stupid. Sorry. Never mind. Wait, now I want to know. Hey, the dishes need to be washed. Great. Now tell me the inside. The tub needed a cleaning. God damn it. I'm never gonna know. No need to be perfect. The books still scattered on the floor in the bedroom. If so, you put them back on the shelf. Perfect. Now then, how about you come over and clear these dishes off the table? What?
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
I already smoothed out.
I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
This is pretty strange. Anyway, so housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books, would you please clean up the books again with the ones in the bedroom? Pillows over there on the couch are a real mess.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Me too. Yeah, it's kind of peaceful. Question. Do you enjoy
But,
this?
of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive. Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move.
Yeah.
I really thought that was the point of it.
Is it not the point of it?
This one gets a bit goofy.
Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. It's just me here. Came here to become perfect. Oh. Sure, going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, your people in life to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think is so well developed as a person that they make you feel so disgusted with yourself? Compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful. I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly? This is easy. This is so easy. It is so easy.
About halfway through the game,
But
the
perfect
perspective
is
shifts.
effortless. What?
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
There's like screaming and fucking, what the hell is that thing? There is no truth, there is no path. Do what is easiest, do what is simplest, feel what is true. Holy shit, you guys, something is coming out of the back of the room. Look out, I want to be able to say that! I can't say that. coming for you. It's gonna destroy you.
I felt pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
Yeah, that was a little bit, I didn't see that one coming.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
It's a stage. Oh, fuck. Performance is beginning. Places, please. This scene you will be playing as me. We are the gathering of professionals. First, start leaning against this wall. Good. Stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. She's routine to photograph animals professionally. There's one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello? Hello? That's it? That is not a conversation. You actually need to converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. I like you? No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe you need to feel better, feel the settings. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce, when you touch them, represent the people nearby. Oh. You must really work hard to get where you are. You're messing it all up again. You freak her out if a professional gets as perfect as that. You not realize how important this was for me. I'll never get another opportunity again. Everything was riding on this. Just bounce around. Try stepping back from the stage. Back to the lamppost. Okay. Do I keep going? Well, I guess we're leaving now. Well, I don't like big open areas in games, guys. I don't like it.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety,
Keep falling
to
down.
fears of having to perform and having to chase success,
Yeah.
the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating.
Right.
He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his game. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person.
It's getting really creepy.
To bring him closer.
Oh.
But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Well, I sure hope it was less scary than that. Mobius trip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. Should I open my eyes? My eyes are closed. Walking forward, maybe? I wish I was on webcam. You guys can see my eyes really are closed. Did I open them? Alright, I'll open my eyes. Oh. I guess I shouldn't have opened my eyes. Everybody's just blind.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Oh, damn it. Alright, let's try again, I guess. Captain, what can I see or do? What's going on? Truth. The only way to stop is to speak something that is honest. I can't keep making these.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Hello? Whoa. Was anybody there? Is that a person? How lovely. It's been such a long time since I talked to anyone. Are you the tree? What's wrong? You look lost. Yeah, I'm a bit confused. When I try to create, I feel empty. I have nothing left to give to my work. I don't know. What's happened? Did something change? Where is it?
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
What is it for? That is
because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
First, you have to open the door. Now you have to close the first door. Now you press this switch here.
You
That
can't
was so simple.
talk yourself
They've
out of
never solved
loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Just some words and some else. You're simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. Sure, making games is easy. But it wasn't true. It is easy. It never stops being easy.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
That who I've been hearing this whole time?
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one,
Stop.
Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
I think he said 2011 was the end year for what he was going to show us, so I guess we're getting towards the end of this. There's a guard now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad to see you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be brutal. Very good. Should be warning someone called the press, so we might have to pay attention to this one. Also, one more thing you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda, the developer. No questions. No comments. No answers. This is the machine.
And of course, it's the machine.
Stopped. What is keeping us alive? Apologize for leaving me. No? Nothing? Alright then, I'll apologize to the people on your behalf. You're not my friends, it's like my followers, I guess. It falls on me to deliver bad news. The machine will not apologize to us. The This is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. Let us show it that we are not failures. Follow me, we will destroy everything the machine has created. Back to the stage. Huh? I have a gun again. Kodo, make sure you are known forever. Isn't that what you're scared of? Expose the view of others every day, seem and naked
So
clarity?
now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
This is really trippy and really seems like one of the... Oh shit, I fell in.
So I started showing
I
Coda's
didn't
work
even know
to
I could
people.
fall in.
I took this one, and the islands that
Still
you
gonna
just
shoot at it,
played,
though.
the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I
Okay.
knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all
Okay.
was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was
Oh, no, I'm
nothing
falling
for
through
him
this
to be
shit.
afraid of.
Okay, cool. That's a good happy ending. Lamppost in the machine, and I'm not good walking, by the way. Put down your weapon. No.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone
Feedback
really
is
connects
important.
with a thing that I've
Positive
made, when they
reinforcement
see
helps.
themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe
Makes
I could
sense.
fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
Wow, this is getting really dark. I have a feeling something really bad's about to happen.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this
Yeah.
is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess.
Yep.
And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take
Okay.
a look.
This is bad. So we're loading the last game, The Tower. Alright, here we are. All the old familiar places.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very
Yeah, I
cold game.
definitely feel like that. Okay, so is this gonna slam shut in my face? Or is it gonna shut behind me? Nope, it's just gonna repeat.
This room actually has a maze in it.
Does it? Oh. Oh.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise.
Yeah, no
so the
shit.
experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press the use key on your gamepad.
Okay.
And I'll put a bridge over the
Thank you for
maze.
that. These are the things from the Stanley Parable, I guess. It's funny. Okay, so we got past the maze, which would have originally taken forever.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's
Yeah,
needed
no
some
shit.
modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores
Oh, really?
and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end.
Yep.
But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate.
Okay.
What's the deeper
counter
idea
here?
behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the six-digit code.
Jesus, really?
Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time.
A lot.
If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is
Me
here.
neither. What the hell?
I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Thanks. Okay, I got it. That would have taken, literally, that would have taken so long. Holy shit. Moving on now. Jesus, this is... It makes me angry. Just having these things happen like that.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first two challenges, and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress.
What the fuck?
And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem.
Yeah, damn.
I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem.
You're still identifying it as a problem.
But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
Maybe you liked it that way. I don't know.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game?
No, it's pretty
I don't know why I
fucking-
would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is.
Yeah, that sounds
It wasn't
accurate.
the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend.
Was he ever your
I had come
friend?
to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean,
3 dots.
and he wouldn't. I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
Yeah, this is really dark and bad. Damn.
Where did I screw up?
This doesn't feel like psychological. This doesn't make me think. This just makes me annoyed and angry.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Well, that's really, really sad.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
Does it for himself. That's what I said towards the beginning, I think.
And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
It's really disturbing. This is that thing I was talking about at the beginning where people, was he not putting lampposts in them? Was Davey putting lampposts in them?
And then you stopped. And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
Oh man, this is really fucking messed up.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
Yeah, I had a bad feeling that was gonna happen.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work. Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please
really
help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was.
Yeah.
I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Well, damn. That sucks. That's really sad. Epilogue. I hope it's happy. Huh? That's a big-ass lamppost. Train.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
It's what we want. It's what artists want, I guess. Or what people think artists want.
Solution. 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 I guess if someone had
for what
told
it's
me
worth,
ahead
this
of
is the
time
best
that he
looking
just
game.
really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Yeah. He's an artist for his own sake, I suppose.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
So, I'm doing it anyway. Well, it's all dark again. What is going on here? It's very, like I'm gonna be
If
squished.
I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Huh? Live for yourself.
What now?
I've always kind of
I
held
think
on
I
to
need
the
to go.
belief that people should do things
And-
for themselves.
I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna... Okay.
But even when you do things for yourself, you still want praise from others to make yourself feel better. Is that really such a bad thing? Was it so terrible to Coda that people liked and enjoyed his games even though you didn't want to show it to anybody? That you didn't want to have to rely on their validation? Whether they validate you or not, whether or not you rely on that is still up to you, right? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. We've lost our narrator, and now we're just wandering through this game that feels like it would never have an end. And I'm sorry I'm not talking a lot, but it's making me think a lot. About what like people want and what people think they want until they have it. I don't know. What is that? Oh, that's gonna be the beam again from the beginning. The one that makes you float. The let's see what it does this time. Here we go. Oh, now it's black. Oh. Welcome to life, ladies and gentlemen. An endless expanse of labyrinth. And nice sounding music. And a beautiful starry sky. With somehow that nice nebulous sunset thing going on. You know, I understand what this was trying to tell me and everything, and that somebody who needed to be validated by others conflicted against someone who did not need to be validated by others, who did not want to, and it was just inconceivable. But I really don't know which one I agree with for R.
Turn back from this cave.
For R. Okay.
You said, let me
This project would not have been possible without the following individuals.
Let me keep going. But the cave goes for miles and miles and miles.
This is a song that's playing right now, I guess. Helena here, don't get mad at me for copyright for leaving this in. Additional thanks to all the people. I guess they did. I guess they did stuff with the game. I don't know, maybe some modding and stuff like that needs to be done to put it all together. The guy that was narrating was a writer, after all. Maybe he didn't know how to do all of the stuff that needed to be done to make this the beginner's guide a possible project. That makes sense, I suppose. Definitely not what I was expecting out of a game. I mean, I read the description that it was telling the story that it did, but when I realized it was the writer of the Stanley Parable, I thought, you know, maybe it'd be entertaining, maybe it would have a good twist psychological ending, but this was a lot darker than I saw coming. But, I mean, that goes back to the expectation thing again. I don't know. It's something to think about. And it's something I'll think about for a little while, and then, you know, hopefully I come up with the conclusion, but maybe not. That's okay too. My name is Exeore. I will see you all next time.